Good morning. Good Monday morning. It is May the 29th. For those of you who are returning, you may notice I am in the same location that I was for the past couple of weeks. I was supposed to leave almost a week ago. Ran into a big, big problem with my new home, which happens to be an RV trailer, and we can't go anywhere. So I guess there's a lesson in it somewhere for my son and I that we need to stay put for an extra week. Not quite sure what the lesson is yet, but yeah, my son and I have spent the past few days working to try and resolve the physical problems with the RV, as well as me exploring deeply what do I need to learn from this, what was going on with me trying to push through. So anyway, a little bit about myself, as well as being vulnerable and showing you guys that what you see on YouTube isn't always picture perfect. Okay. For those of you who are new here, a very warm welcome, and sorry about the kind of rambling introduction. Today, I'm going to do 3 separate readings. We're going to have a look at dominant energies that are influencing you this week, as well as shadow energies. In a couple of moments, I'm going to ask you to go into a light meditative state. And from that light meditative state, I'm going to present 3 rocks, gems, or trinkets to you. From that light meditative state, use your intuition, tap deeply into your intuition. And after you have seen all 3 of the rocks, gems, or trinkets, intuitively decide which one you are most drawn towards. Whichever one you are most drawn towards, that will be your reading this week, and I will put timestamps down below. Please make sure that before you make your decision, you wait until you have seen all 3 of the rocks, gems, or trinkets. Also, if you are drawn towards one rock, gem, or trinket, and then you see one of the other ones and you go, oh, but I like that one too, by all means, watch both of those videos from the timestamps below, or both portions of the video, because oftentimes there are crossovers. And in fact, I have had occasions or weeks where I've been doing this and identical cards have come out of separate decks for separate readings, thus reinforcing that sometimes we're not in a small group experiencing an energy during a week. Sometimes we're part of a very big group experiencing similar energies in any given week. So let's get started. Make yourself comfortable. You can either be sitting up or laying down. And begin to make any last-minute adjustments to your body to make sure that you're comfortable. And really tap into your body. Pay attention to what your body is asking you. Your body may be asking you to move your leg. Maybe your knee is not quite where you want it. Feel free to move it at this time. Maybe your shoulders need to be brought backwards and down a little bit so that they can relax. Just make any adjustments that are necessary to make yourself as comfortable as possible so that you can feel relaxed. Listen to the sound of my voice. And between listening to the sound of my voice and concentrating on your own level of comfort, you will already notice that your body is going into a deeper state of relaxation than it was just a moment ago. And now we're going to take this up one more level. Concentrate on your breath. Make sure that your physical body is as comfortable as you can make it, and then begin to concentrate on your breath. Pay attention to your inhales and your exhales. And there's no need to adjust the rate of your respiration at this time. Just pay attention to it. Are you breathing quickly or slowly? Are you breathing rapidly and shallowly or deeply and slowly? Continue to breathe in whatever way is comfortable for you. And as you do so, you'll notice that your body responds. For some of you, your body will respond by going into a much deeper, relaxed state. And for others, your body may respond by wanting additional attention and wanting to make one more adjustment into relaxation, into a more comfortable position. And this is okay. This is normal. Just continue to listen to my voice and notice that even now, you are far more relaxed than you were just 3 minutes ago. If you have had your eyes closed, please open them now. Continue to stay in your very relaxed state. And I'm going to present you with 3 rocks, gems, or trinkets. And from your very relaxed state, choose one. Wait until you have seen all 3 presented. And then from your relaxed state, select which one you are intuitively drawn towards. The first one is this lovely sage stick. This lovely sage stick was made from sage from my garden a couple of years ago. If you are intuitively drawn towards this sage stick, I'll be pulling cards for you from deck number 1. This is our second trinket, and this is a piece of shell that my son found along a beach. And it's quite lovely, and it's very unique. So if you are drawn towards this, I'll be pulling cards for you from deck number 2. And finally, a selenite ball. If you are intuitively drawn towards the selenite ball, you'll notice that its color and its light changes as I flip it around in my fingers. If you are intuitively drawn towards the selenite ball, I'll be pulling cards for you from deck number 3. So go ahead and make your decision. The sage stick, the shell, or the selenite ball. And as previously mentioned, feel free to check out the timestamps down below. Also, if any of these readings resonate with any of you, all of my contact information is down below, and I am available for personal readings. Okay. For those of you who selected the sage stick, I have a special treat for you. I have pulled out my animal tarot. This is a deck that was one of my very first decks that I ever worked with. I worked with animals predominantly for about the first 4 or 5 years that I was introduced to tarot and cards and the esoteric. And this deck has been hiding, but today it's decided to come out and give you your reading. All right. Dominant energies for those who selected the sage stick this week. Dominant energies influencing those who selected the sage. Okay, we've got a few cards that have come out here, quite a few cards here. All right. All right, we have, wow. Holy smokes. We have the 9 of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Pentacles. Holy smokes. For those of you who selected the Sage Stick this week, there is huge energy coming up for you this week, specifically relating to money and career. The 9 of Pentacles, which was the first card that came out for you, is represented by the beaver. And the beaver is all about hard work. Let's see if we can actually get that to focus on that little critter in the card. Camera's not being super cooperative, but okay. So the beaver is all about working towards our dreams. But being that this is the 9 of Pentacles, this is the card of you're almost there. You are at that point where you're finding that balance between work and feeling comfortable enough to say what's important to you on any given day. You're at that point where you're no longer scrimping and saving and thinking, oh, geez, I mean, if I just had 50 more cents, I could afford this or that. You're at that point where you're moving beyond that because you have put in the work that was necessary in order to get to where you are at in your life. You have the Queen of Pentacles coming in here. The Queen of Pentacles is all about being creative in whatever job or work that you are doing. It's represented by the lynx. And if anybody is familiar with the lynx is similar to a cougar in that it is a rather reclusive animal. It loves to hide out in the bushes. It does act upon sort of a hidden knowledge. Well, it's hidden to us because it acts on more of an intuitive side. Anytime you see the Queen in the tarot, it is tapping into that feminine intuitive side. But this is also about creativity, right? And bringing creativity into both your work this week, as well as any money endeavors. You have the 10 of Pentacles coming up, who is represented by the moose. The moose has a very motherly energy as well. So again, I'm going to reiterate, you've got lots of feminine energy coming in with regards to your finances and your job this week. In other words, don't be bringing a hammer into work or into your financial affairs when a feather will do. Where did that come from? I never speak like that. I am channeling at the moment. Okay. So yeah, the message to you this week is keep things gentle, creative, keep things intuitive this week. The 10 of Pentacles is a really positive card. It's about having nurtured. So it's about moving on from this 9 of Pentacles where you're continuing to work and beginning to see the fruits of your labor. And the 10 of Pentacles is about actually achieving something that you wanted to achieve. This is actually a really positive card, and it's about having nurtured. It's got that motherly energy, but it's about having nurtured your job or nurtured your savings to the point that you can begin to really embrace that relationship that you have with it. Why? Because you have the world here. The world is all about new opportunities. How do we embrace new opportunities? Well, in our modern world where money, finance, jobs, career kind of have a dominant influence upon our ability to give ourselves the world, whatever the world looks like for us, right? It looks like something different for everybody. For some people, giving themselves the world is a trip to India to go on a yoga retreat, for example. For others, it's a trip to the beach where they can sit and relax and read 3 books. For others, it's about going on a trip to the Himalayas and experiencing base camp at Everest. Whatever giving this yourself the world looks like to you, these cards are indicating you are on the verge of receiving that specifically this week. You can definitely be in that position of getting excited about things really going your way. You also have the 8 of Pentacles here. So you have the 8, the 9, the 10, and the Queen of Pentacles here. Amazing, amazing. So the 8 of Pentacles is about preparing for the future. This card coming out immediately after the World card is a card indicating that as much as these first few cards, the 9, the Queen, and the 10 of Pentacles, are indicating you have worked really, really hard to get to where you are, that you are in a good place, and the world is indicating that you now have an opportunity to maybe, spend some of that money. It might be looking like a job promotion for some of you this week. As much as you have that, this card, the 8 coming out after all of that, is indicating that you should make sure that whatever it is that you may have going out pertaining to the world, whatever way that you are rewarding yourself, if that involves spending some of your hard-earned money, make sure that you are creating a balance and still preparing for the future. Make sure that if you've put away money for a trip, just hypothetically speaking, if you've put money away for a trip of a lifetime, this card is saying, don't spend 100% of it. Spend a portion of it, right? Prepare for the future. The reason that I'm saying that is because you have the squirrel on here. What does the squirrel do? The squirrel runs around for months and months and months and months and months, working really hard, collecting up nuts, fruit, seeds, and hiding them all over the place so that when the winter comes, they are prepared and they can continue to have sustenance. That's what this card represents. And so, as much as the world is your oyster right now, make sure that you are not going too crazy with regards to going over the top and spending too much. Make sure you still have some for a rainy day. The final card that you have for this week is the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands, represented by the Komodo dragon. This is the card that something is coming towards you, probably by late in the week, that's going to result in you needing your survival instincts. And I really think that this first half is, showing you that hard work, both the beaver and the moose are showing you hard work can result in rewards. But if you go over the top with your rewards, you're going to have to put money away for the future. Why? Because a Komodo dragon is coming towards you. That's going to show you that there's this balance in life, right? There is this abundance that's coming in, and then there's something coming towards you that what's coming up for me, for some of you, it may be a vehicle repair, or it may be some sort of expense that is unexpected for you by the end of the week. And if you've gone completely nuts and booked your trip around the world and spent 100% of your savings and not put something away for a rainy day, I'm really sensing that for many of you, there's going to be an unexpected expense that comes up at the end of the week. And you're going to be going, oh my gosh, but Intuitive Butterfly said that I should go out and book the world. Yes, I did. But your reading is giving you this balance. It's showing you that you need to create balance in your own life. Let's have a look at the card on the bottom of the deck. The card on the bottom of the deck, oh my goodness, is yet another pentacle, if you can believe it. This is the Three of Pentacles. This is the Otter. This is a card of creativity and skill. This is your shadow this week. Your shadow this week is indicating that you may bump into being creative with your finances when you go to book this world trip, this whatever it is. The world is your oyster. When you go to book it, you may need to be a little bit creative with your finances in order to ensure that you're putting enough away for the rainy day. All right. So thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that you'll join me again next week on Monday for your next reading. Also, for those of you who are interested, I have just posted yesterday on Sunday the reading for early to mid-June for each and every one of your zodiac signs. So feel free to hop on over to my channel and check out your zodiac sign. Thank you so much. All right. Those of you who selected the shell, those of you who selected this beautiful shell, I'm going to be pulling cards for you from the Osho Zen Tarot. Let's get started. Dominant energies this week. Dominant energies for those who selected the shell. All right, I think we've just got the two cards that have come out here, so let's have a quick peek. The first card is creativity, and the second card is fighting, except that the fighting card was in reverse. All right. So what do these two cards mean for you this week? The creativity card is the card of the High Priestess. This is a card of the High Priestess or the Empress. I always get those two mixed up, but both of them have similar meanings, and both of them bring in this strong feminine energy and this way of doing things that involves not ramming things through. There's that saying again. Okay. A saying came up that I very seldom use while I was doing the reading for those who selected the sage stick. What came up? Why fix things with a hammer when you can fix them with a feather? Don't bring a hammer in when a feather will fix things. Don't know where that came in, but I'm getting the same sense with you guys having the creativity card coming in along with the fighting card in reverse. What this is telling me this week is that there is this call towards doing things in a more creative and a more feminine way, using gentle energies in order to be able to solve problems this week, going into that place of, is there another way of doing this rather than fixing things with a hammer, right? And if there are conflicts this week, that we really need to step away from fighting with our fellow man, with our friends, with our family. There needs to be solutions that do not involve fighting. There needs to be solutions wherein we can create win-win situations, and we can create beauty out of that which is coming up for us this week. I don't even have this box open, but I'm getting called to pull a card from this box for you guys this week. So I am listening. Okay. Got a few cards coming out here. Yeah. All right. So the first card that flipped out for you is connect with your emotions this week. How can we bring in creativity to that which we want to do? Connect with our emotions, right? Our emotions can guide us. The other card that's coming in here for you is the White Witch. It's calling you to be the light, be the mentor, be the guide for others. Okay. This is a card of someone who has done the work, who understands that fighting is not the solution to our problems. Creativity is. This is someone who has faced dark night of the soul. How do I know that? There's a beautiful moth in her hair, and she wears it with pride. What's unique about both moths and butterflies is that at some point they have faced a dark night of the soul. They have gone into a cocoon in order to be able to withdraw and go deeply within themselves to learn the lessons that they need to learn. And they have then emerged as a beautiful moth or a butterfly. And for some of you this week, you have feminine energy. You have feminine energy. You have feminine energy coming in. And you have a very masculine energy coming in reverse. Your really, really strong message this week is to make sure that you are not handling whatever comes up for you this week with strong intellect, which is a masculine trait. You need to make sure that you are not handling things in an unemotional way. You need to bring emotions into decisions that you are making this week. You really need to tap into your emotions in order to be able to move forward this week. Let's have a look at what card is on the bottom of the deck. Okay. The card that is on the bottom of the deck for you is your shadow this week. You have receptivity. This is the Queen of Cups. Is this additional feminine energy coming in for you this week? Yes, it is. But this is coming in as your shadow. What does that tell me? It tells me that you have this temptation this week to tap into the King's energy, not the Queen's energy. The Queen's energy is all about creativity, intuition, emotions. This coming up on the bottom of the deck is indicating that bubbling below the surface is resistance to that softer, kinder energy. But having said that, it's also a call into making decisions in a different way this week. Testing the waters, right? This card is about water, and this card is the water guardian. Both of these cards are about testing the water and seeing if there is a different way to approach problems this week. Because this is not the right solution this week. This fighting card is not the right way to resolve your issues this week. All right. I'm going to leave off your reading there. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you'll join me again next week. And if this truly resonated with you and you would like a personal reading, I am available, and all of the contact details are down below. I will never reach out to you personally. Please reach out to me by way of a private message via email or contact me through my website. Thank you so much. All right, moving right along. For those of you who selected the Selenite ball this week, I will be pulling cards for you from the Fairy Tarot. Let's get started. Dominant energies for those who selected the Selenite ball. We have one card out already. It's right near the bottom of the deck and it jumped right out. What else do we have as a dominant energy? We have a card that's sticking out here and may or may not bring that one out. Might actually fall out by the time I reach the end of the deck here. Dominant energies for those who selected the Selenite ball. There we go. All right. What happens when I drop these cards? We have anything else coming out? No, actually, it didn't pop right out. So we won't use that card, but we will use these three. What do we have for you this week? We have the Six of Autumn. This is a card of karma. This card corresponds to the Six of Pentacles, and this is a card of karma. It's a card of what you put out there, you get back. If you put hard work in, you do receive rewards. If you put philanthropic work in and generosity in, you will receive generosity in return. That is what this card brings up for you this week. This card can also be about either you paying a debt, repaying a debt, and paying something off that you owe to others, or if others owe you, this card could indicate that you may be receiving the windfall of money of somebody else repaying a debt to you. Now, it's not always about money, although this card corresponds to the Pentacles, which are typically about money and career, but it could just be a favor. You know, you may have done something really nice for somebody else in the past, and that gets turned around this week and returned to you. You have the Four of Summer coming in, also known as the Four of Cups, and this is a card of distraction. This is a card of not paying attention. You'll notice on this card, the fairy here is staring off into space. There's a little cherub down here trying to get the fairy's attention, jumping up and down, hand outstretched. Hey, pay attention to me. And instead, this fairy is staring off into space, quite distracted. This is a card of not seeing a magical opportunity that may be presenting itself to you this week. And the final card that you have here is the Hermit. What does the Hermit represent? Withdrawing from life, going within ourselves, getting in touch with our intuition. And it could also indicate that a mentor is coming in. Now, how does this card relate to the Six of Autumn? Well, as I said, you yourself may have done something really nice for somebody in the past and expected nothing in return. You may have stepped up and into the role of being a mentor or a teacher for somebody in the past. And now this week, a mentor may be coming in, or somebody may be coming in with some good knowledge or advice for you by the end of the week. Failing that, this card can also be an indication that it's time for you to withdraw, that the problem that you need a solution to is coming from within yourself, from that withdrawal. The Four of Summer coming in between these cards, because when we do card readings, we don't want to just look at the individual cards. We need to look at how the cards play into each other, what's beside what. The Four of Summer coming in between these two cards is telling me that you're not paying attention to what's going on around you right now. You're living in a state where you're feeling distracted, and the universe is trying to get your attention. If you are in this distracted state and someone comes in to do you a favor or repay a debt, or, karma is trying to get your attention, and you're in this state, you may miss out on some rewards this week. So pay attention. Also, if you're in this distracted state and your dream mentor comes along, the person who is meant to come into your life to teach you so that you can move into the next phase of your life, and you're doing this, you're going to delay the learnings that you're meant to have at this time. So these cards, this card in the middle is really a cautionary card that you need to be paying attention to things in a very conscious way this week, because either you need to withdraw or there's a mentor coming in. I am feeling more drawn towards the mentor for this card. And I do feel that a mentor coming in for you is about repaying a debt, that there is something that you are meant to learn this week, something really important. What's on the bottom of the deck? Right. On the bottom of the deck, you have the King of Summer, also known as the King of Cups. The King of Cups is about advice coming in, but advice coming in a very intellectual, unemotional way. But you're not paying attention. So definitely my intuition was correct. I believe, I trust my intuition, that the Hermit is representing that a mentor is likely coming in for you. The mentor that's coming in for you, you may miss if you're not paying attention. And the mentor that's coming in for you is because you have done karmic work. You've put yourself out there. You have taught others. You have supported others through difficult times. And now there's a new mentor coming in to help you and assist you in your growth. There's advice coming towards you this week, but you have to be paying attention in order to receive it. Okay? Thank you so much for being here. If this reading resonated with you, I would love it if you would give me a like. Also, if this resonated with you and you are interested in a personalized reading with me, all of my contact details are below. I will never reach out to you first. Just send me a private email because I'm not reaching out to you guys first. If you receive an out of the blue email from me, it's not from me. I don't do that. I will respond to all of your emails and inquiries, but I don't reach out. There is somebody out there that is doing that. It's not me. All right. Thank you so much. And I hope that you'll join me again next Monday.